Hi students, it's Mrs. Porter again. In our last video we talked about how important it is to have a high Lexile reading score and what a difference that can make in your life and in your future career. I also talked to you about how Achieve 3000 in conjunction with your teacher can help you truly become a better reader. So in this video, we're going to focus on using Achieve 3000 the way it's intended to be used so that it will indeed help you get better at your reading skills. This program is pretty good, but you're only going to get out of it what you put into it. If you're just clicking through things to get them done, it won't do you any good. So I want to show you a few pointers about the first 3 steps of the 5-step literacy routine in Achieve 3000. Now I'm in Empower. You may be using Teen Biz or Kid Biz, but it'll look very similar and all the steps are the same. So we're going to start with the poll, and I'm going to read this statement here and decide if I agree or disagree. It says, "Welcome, Discovery. There are many ways to learn about history. Some people visit museums to do this. What do you think? Visiting museums is the best way to learn about history." So I'm going to say that I disagree with that statement. I'm going to click on my choice and click Submit. When I do that, it will change to say Go to Email. On the email step, it's asking me to write back and explain why I agreed or disagreed. And then I'm going to go to the article. Don't skip this step. Click Reply. Here we're going to type a few sentences to explain why we chose to agree or to disagree. So give this some thought. Write complete sentences, capital letters, punctuation, correct spelling. Make sure you spend some time on this. A short amount of time, but you still want to do your very best. Once I've typed in my statement, I can click Send. My email has now been sent, and I can move on to step 2, entering the actual article. Here's where things get really serious. First, we need to pay attention to the vocabulary words. Now, your account may be set up so that these come up as soon as you enter the article. If they do not, they will be located at the end of the article. Regardless, don't just ignore them. Don't just click the X and close them out, or start jumping right into the article without looking at the vocabulary. If you just ignore them, you're not likely to understand what you're reading. These are words that you may not know. Take the time to read through the vocabulary words and their definition. Listen to them being pronounced. You can click this little play button to do that. It's probably a word that you actually do know when you hear it, but you just aren't sure you can recognize it by reading. So paying attention to these vocab words will help you become a better reader. If a teacher isn't around and you find a word that you don't know that's not listed, or you still don't understand one of the words that's here, take advantage of another website, something like dictionary.com, where you can put in a word and find its definition and hear it pronounced. You may need help with more words besides just what comes up in this list. Once we've paid attention to the vocabulary, we can close this out. Now again, if it didn't come up when you first entered the article, you can scroll to the bottom and find that same information. Now once you've looked at the vocabulary and paid attention to that, it's time to actually read the article. I know this sounds obvious, but some students just glance over it and go straight to the activity questions. If you do that, the questions are really just going to show us how good you are at guessing. Guessing's not going to get you very far in life. It will get you far in life if you become a better reader, but to do that, you have to actually read. You should listen while you read. Research shows that you'll stay more focused on what you're reading and understand it better if it's entering your brain through your ears as well as your eyes. If you have a play button at the top of your article, use a set of headphones and listen to the article while you read along with it. Don't just listen, read along too. Now you might not have the option of listening to the article and reading along. Remember, Achieve 3000 is giving you what you need, so everyone doesn't have the same things. If your reading level is higher, and I'll switch this to a higher reading level to show you. There's my vocabulary again. You will not have a play button at the top of your article. What you can do is whisper read. This means that you very quietly read aloud, which allows you to hear it as well as see it. And this will help you stay way more focused and understand what you're reading. Even as an adult and a pretty good reader, I do this when I need to really concentrate on what I'm reading. Next, think about what you're reading. Have you ever read anything like this before or experienced anything? Think about that poll question that you answered in the beginning. Is what you're reading making you think that more strongly, or maybe you're changing your mind? You can click the little circle arrows under each paragraph and jot some things down that might help you along. Don't spend too much time doing this, but anything that you want to try to remember, you can fill in the summarize. If you have a question that you need to remember to ask your teacher when she's available, you could type it under generating questions. And probably the most important one is setting the purpose. This is going to help prepare you for the thought question that will come at the end of your 5-step literacy routine. Anything you type into this box will be notes that you have available to you when you start to answer the thought question. These boxes under reading connections will help you focus more closely on the article. Now again, don't spend too much time doing that. You certainly don't need to fill in every box for every paragraph. You only need to do what's going to help you stay focused and what you're directed to do by your teacher. Once you've really read the article, giving it your full attention, it's time to move on to the activity. As you answer the questions, do your very best on your first answer. This is the best measure of what you really understood from your reading. Carefully whisper read the question and all of the answer choices. Read all these things in these little boxes. Read it again if you aren't sure of the best answer the first time. Down below is a button that says Refer to the article. Use this button to go back and reread and look for answers as needed. When I click it, it brings up a pop-up window of the article itself, which I can put side by side with my questions and make sure that I'm answering them correctly. Do not guess at your answers. You have everything you need to answer every question correctly. You just need to read carefully and refer back to the article. Ask questions when you don't understand something. So let's review a few of the key things that I just told you. First, pay attention to the vocabulary words. If they don't come up as soon as you enter the article, skip to the bottom of the article and look at the vocabulary words first, then go back to the top to read. Next, really read the article. Don't skim it, don't breeze through it, read it carefully. Read it more than once if you need to. Listen while you read along if you have that option, and if you don't, whisper read the article to help you stay focused and so you can hear as well as see the words. Think about what you're reading. Don't let your mind wander. Stay focused on what you're doing. Take notes in the reading connection as directed by your teacher or just what's going to help you stay focused. When you're answering the activity questions, make sure you refer to the article. Look up the answers that you need to, things that you don't remember, things that you need to read again. Always do your very best on your first answer, because this is the one that shows what you truly understand. Here's a few things I want you to remember. You will only get out of Achieve 3000 what you put into it. You're going to have to work hard if you want to become a better reader. And if you're just trying to get things done, it's not going to do you a lot of good. Also, I want you to know that you can use Achieve 3000 outside of school. Log in anytime you have internet access and search for an article that interests you, or do the special articles that are published on Saturdays. You might find something that you really enjoy, and it will help you become a better reader. Also, ask your teacher for help. Remember, we're not just using Achieve 3000. You also have excellent teachers that are there to guide you and to help you become a better reader. If you don't understand something, ask your teacher for help. I really love this quote. There are so many people out there who will tell you that you can't. What you've got to do is turn around and say, Watch me. I hope that you will be that determined, especially if you're currently behind in your reading skills. You can contact me anytime you'd like to know more information about your Lexile level or how to get to where you need your Lexile level to be. If you're a student at Southwest Park Schools, you can message me on my big campus in the conversations area. You can email me at the address shown. You can tweet to me, or you can call my phone and leave me a voicemail message. If you are a student at another school district, please talk to your teacher about how to become a better reader.